Topic time, where we talk about what you think about.
Upbringing is a powerful, often silent force that acts as the foundational blueprint for how individuals behave, communicate, and feel in adult romantic relationships. When childhood environments are marked by inconsistency, emotional neglect, or conflict, these early experiences can create deep-seated love styles that sabotage marriages and relationships, often manifesting as a silent destroyer of intimacy. So tonight on Topic Time, we are discussing the importance of upbringing, the silent destroyer of marriages and relationships today. Let's discuss. Yeah, so tonight I'm doing this with Nana and Miss Philo. We have a short time to do this, so bear with us. As a friend of mine would say, no 2 days are the same, so here we are. Alright, Miss Philo and Nana, Akwaba to Topic Time. So the pressures of life create absentee parents sometimes, right? I know by all means you have friends who had their parents not around. So how does it reflect in an adult's life and their relationships today? I'll tell you a story and then we'll build our discussion on that premise, alright? So I think 2 days ago we had this a friend of mine. I was asking about another friend from her, and was telling me some things in relation to her marriage and the fact that they are separated now, right? But then it brought me to a point where I had observed something about this particular guy, right? That whenever there was a gathering and her wife came around, he never accompanied her to any of those events. Like, he was constantly absent. So the last time I did an MC for a wedding in Accra, as usual the wife came with their 3 children and he wasn't there. So for me to be told that they are now kind of separated, I was like, okay. So my thought at that time wasn't wrong, because see, you Nana being a chief, there are times you accompany your wife to certain places or certain events. True or false?
Oh, yeah.
Good.
It depends on the program.
I get it, but at least you make time to do that, accompany her to some things. So when a person or a guy or a married man is constantly interested in going out with his boys to go watch football, go on a trip, right, and consistently act as if he is a bachelor.
Home alone.
Yes, he's like somebody who is married but has no responsibilities whatsoever. He just comes and goes. It's strange to me, right? It doesn't make sense. It means that this person is like acting as if he wants to eat his cake and have it. It's like you have placed somebody's child in your home and decided to care for them as and when you choose or please.
That one, it depends.
It depends on what?
It depends on.
I've described what this person is doing.
And I say it depends on the programs that the woman is going.
I get that.
And
it's just one example out of this.
No, that is.
How the person was brought up to is also another.
That's where we are going with this.
That one too can be a factor, but can
it's
never be a major.
It's a huge factor.
It can be a major
factor. It is.
Simply because, look, there are certain things that, if you tell me that some people, when they are brought up and they see that their father or their mother always quarrel, they realize that the quarreling is normal in a relationship. But in a situation whereby you come out and then you get married, the lady is coming from a different background. You're also coming from a different background. Maybe yours was a fighting type of family that you had. But it doesn't mean that when you come, automatically you have to become so violent that anything you'll be beating your wife and that kind of thing. Or you'll be quarreling with your wife, your husband, because that was how your mother was doing to your father. You know, these things, me, I don't see it to be like because of how you were brought up. It's because of the character you yourself has adopted. Doesn't mean that some of us that went to boys' school and people always attribute boys' school, some of the boys' school, to be notorious and use different types of words. And you know, obi ofi hoba ebiano tends to be part of that notorious words that they were using for them. I remember those days when I was going to secondary school, and I was with my mom, which is my uncle's wife. I said, "Oh, I dreamt that you went to this school. You are going to this school, and this school, because the nature they were, no, you were smoking. So I will not allow you to go." I said to myself, if some people are smokers, that doesn't mean that I'll be a smoker. And if people are drinking, you know, when you go and you decide to adapt the style over there, it's how you think you will become. And it is not like that when you enter there.
Okay.
It's just the name. So it's not like because you think that it is because how you were brought. Automatically, you saw that thing when you were a child. You saw the way your mom and your dad were always quarreling and that kind of thing. But it doesn't mean that you have to also automatically because you saw that you are also adapting that style to be normal.
Okay.
I mean,
I wish
in this instance, his own is becoming a destroyer.
yes.
His upbringing is turning him into a destroyer. It's because he doesn't see the essence of accompanying the wife to
or
programs
being
like
there for his
being
own
the children.
relationship.
or relationship. You see, so it means that either growing up he realized that the father was always away, and I show more.
Or perhaps didn't even grow up with the father
Yes,
at all.
and even when the father comes to, the mother doesn't complain. So I don't see why if I don't do it for you, you should complain. When you complain, it becomes something stupid. She wasn't complaining, so why are you complaining? So in his case, no, his upbringing, no, the things that he saw or went through or passed through, it's turning him into a destroyer, which is making him lose his hope without him realizing that.
Henry,
Yes, sir.
to me, like I'll use myself as a typical example. You know, my old boy left Ghana after the 1982 coup, and went with my mom. As soon as I grew up, I realized, I said no, because there was a gap interval. Though people see me that, oh, Nana de or Penny Papa Nasam and Papa Panasam, but the gap interval is that I realized that if my father were to be in Ghana, I may not be the position I'm holding now, because not a straight, no bring education, and if Obina no bring education, you know how it is. No, it's like making sure that you are doing well, getting best, or doing well, going to school, providing you everything. No, ni Ghana. It will be only Ghana any day. What do you expect? So as soon as I grew, I said no. They say I did. When I was young, that was the time I never me no brother moko abrochi. But when I hit 25, Then I say, what am I going to do in Europe? As soon as I settled down, got married, my brother, my old boy, a lot of friends, my cousins, all of them are asking me to come. I said, no, I don't want to come because of what I've realized. Because my old boy left us and then made us to be of why the Abrabonere Bono of Funding and Nekasa. For almost 10 years, 15 years, now you've not seen him.
The physical contact
was not there. So, and I felt it and I realized that it wasn't good. So why should I do it to my kids?
Okay.
So it depends on the person.
Okay, so in this case, you decided that, okay, I'm making a change. I'm not going to let this cycle continue.
Perfect.
This guy has a cycle that he is continuing.
He decided to continue.
Yes.
That's why I said
No, maybe
So-
perhaps it's not that because the parents or they don't stay with the father or whatever. Maybe his own way of living is also a factor.
Or he doesn't want the responsibility of
Hey, let's
the
face reality here.
marriage.
When you go out with
decides-
your kids,
Uh-huh.
Mame count and back count, you the man, if you budget 500 cedis, if you are not lucky.
No, let's not even make this about money.
No, I'm just giving a scenario. So maybe the person may think that, oh, what's what I want one way, so that I also find my way. You get it?
I know
Because
that bit about men. The
like
fact
if you
that
go
we
with them, he might spend more than the budgeted.
Or maybe the program that the wife is going. At times,
Interested.
I'm not interested, and I can't stop my
no,
wife
but
from not going.
it is not about being interested before going. When you get married, those things they don't work like that. Sometimes you are just not interested in it. But what's it? All you feel there back home wako.
To make her complain.
Like your wife goes to a place and everybody is complained by their spouse, and
But
yours is not there.
Do you have the one thing that we also need to ask? Does the wife invite the husband in the first place?
I am sure she does.
That is what you.
In that you are. Your wife is coming to a place where they literally accompanied your wife to get married to you. So it's like
The family gathering or
it's
something.
not even it's a friends gathering. She's literally like a part of.
No, when you
this
are going
family.
for Ebia, Henry is getting married.
No,
Or
let's look at the character.
We are basing
thing.
on
We are
the
looking
Yes.
at the character aspect of it. not the money.
Henry is getting married. I'll just Philo, Henry is getting married, so let's go. Oh, okay, but unfortunately this week I'm also having a program, so you may go alone.
So you every time you are invited, you have a program.
Do you know that when you are scheduling your programs, I may also schedule my programs?
No,
No, but there
No,
is-
no, it's an
there is
assumption.
no way that
no.
It's
there
an
is no
assumption.
way. No. If you go at that angle, there is no way that
no, it can't be.
there is no way that you
The
can
person
always
inviting
tell me
the-
that whenever you also invite
thing
me,
we
I
are
also
not
have a
debating.
program. No,
It's
no.
not a debate.
We are trying to analyze why this person's
I said
character is like that.
HKO. He's becoming a
A destroyer
destroyer.
of his own mind.
Yes, his own actions and attitude. He's becoming a destroyer, and he's destroying his home by breaking the home. Probably he's not realizing that. If he learnt it somewhere, or he adapted it somewhere, and he think it worked, that no. Sometimes something that would work for A wouldn't work for B. So it's not everything that we see. Most at times that we need to adapt. Ask yourself, what can I do best? You let it go. Then you yourself, what you can do best, you bring it out to make sure that you perfect whatever it is that you're doing. Men share the workouts now. My mom was the insult type. The so I also adapt that. No, if your mom was doing that, doesn't mean she also do it.
No, but
Even if your mom was doing, ask yourself, was it right? You as a child, how did you feel? So why would you do it to your husband? You get it? So you can change the narrative.
That's how it is. That's what I'm trying to.
yeah, I get
So when
you.
it's
So
not
the
that-
moment you also try to adapt it, you are continuing a cycle, which is making you become
So-
a destroyer.
But this person is behaving as though he's not come to the realization that he's the main protagonist or the main destroyer of what is going
I
on.
said you trust anonymous and until he's being called to.
Henry, what's it's like when you are the one making sure that okay, my parents, this is how they were behaving, and being a child at that time, realizing that it wasn't a good habit. So you have to also change the cycle.
Okay, so I have a note here from Innocent. He says that a case I had to do with a lady being raped by an uncle at age 14, and that experience never left her. She is 3 years in a marriage and has been intimate with the husband only 3 times. So Amphibia 1. And all these 3 times she was crying and weeping, but could not tell the husband about her painful experience. Another one was from a home of survival of the fittest, and saw how the mom maltreated the dad, and so also sees the wife as potential exhibit of her mother, and that has hindered how he relates to the wife.
So you see, these people are holding on to past experience.
So
upbringing.
Look, personally, it was like I could have ended up the same way. The way I am intentional with my relationship, sometimes it makes people feel as though I take things too far. Like Sunday, for instance, she forgot to buckle one of, I think, her right sandal also. So she tucked the strap somewhere around where the foot really lies, around the toes. So when I saw it, I just called her over, bent on it, and then I put the strap on. Like, not a lot of guys would do that sort of thing in a space or in a public place like that. I don't mind. Okay, because intentional. Yes, by the time I was in my mid-teens, I came to live with Mr. and Mrs. Anandas, is such that I could see the man do things that men can do for their wives, and so the person is living the example that is right. So automatically he was like, by his actions, washing those things that hitherto you would have grown up with out of your head. I don't think this guy got any example like that. Or otherwise, he himself hasn't, like you are saying, he hasn't taken it upon himself that this is no good, this is a distraction, I need to get hold of myself.
That is where he's coming. Yes, that is where I have a problem.
Because all of us have a past. Everyone has a past. You
can't let that past affect your present. So your own life you adapted to. You looked at the positive side. The man was doing something positive. No. So you looked at that and I feel. So the same way now, so I'm not bro papa no. And I said no, they didn't tell me.
I'm not gonna adapt that style. No, it is not the past too.
That one too is there. That one too is there. No, that one too.
Do you know you get a grown-ups that are still peer group influence are there?
Do you know why I am angry with this whole thing? The fact that you have children, right? You are passing on this same foolish behavior to them.
So now it's the children's decision when they grow up whether to adapt, because them are not apply them, not all your fear. Another, how were you feeling? Yes. If you think you were feeling bad, it means it's not a good thing. And
but my point is that,
so you correct it.
Why do you even have to exhibit that to them in the first place? For what?
For me, I think that
they are young
this man here,
children.
He has decided to carry on with this thing because this thing shouldn't. Because when you saw it, were you happy? So ask yourself that time, how were you feeling? If you realize you felt bad, so same way your wife is also feeling bad. The one that Mr. Innocent knows that you read. How can you tell me that when you were growing up, your mom was insulting your father, so you see your wife to do same? No,
but sometimes
so because of that, you have a way of staying with her or living with her.
Yeah, the irony is that the very thing you don't like, it's consciously embedded in you because you've seen it constantly and you have grown with it. So a girl is likely to marry somebody like her father. A guy is likely to marry somebody like her mother. And that is the guy's fears, because he hasn't had anyone to show him the other way, or a way of going around.
They need to seek a counseling.
Yeah, but
they need to see a therapist.
In a part of the world, as soon as
psychologist as well to psych them.
You talk about these things as seeing somebody. We all want to create this impression that we are strong.
No.
And so going for a session like that,
he is not. The lady too is not. You see, you read 2 notes.
Yes.
So both need to see a psychologist.
Oh
yes, they need to be psyched. No way the madness from then you go, because when it happens, you are not able to bring out your all in that relationship.
No,
you are not able to. You're always holding back.
The foundation you have there is
so it's making you always hold back. So why, if my mom was not loved, why don't I love my wife and see? Me mama yes and papa yes. It doesn't mean that the person I'm going. So you be positive minded, psych yourself. If you think you can't control it, to see a psychologist, to psych you up, so that you can put up your best to make your home a better one, so I don't repeat history doesn't repeat itself in your generations to come.
I don't think a lot of guys are thinking in this direction like that, because lately the whole relationship thing is becoming like a competition between man and wife. You are going out with your girls. Well, I'm also going out with my boys.
Well, there are some who are married and they still do that. For your commitment family.
Yes, but my thing is, if every time you guys cannot go out together,
there's an issue,
then it means you are either constantly avoiding each other, or you have an underlying issue you haven't tackled, or anytime you try to tackle, then there is the bit of make-up sex, and you go on and do that, and you think that solves the problem for you, right? So you can constantly do this make-up sex thing for a long time, and then you realize you haven't solved any problem, you haven't tackled anything, and this thing is recurring. And you know the thing with cycles, until you break it and give it a different direction, it will keep coming in every time like that. People are going through stuff in their relationship. I
say in Mr. Ino's notes that you read, the lady needs to open up. Because yes, how many men will be able to withstand that? 3 years, intimacy as married couples. Fight come on. No, see, she's breaking her home. If the man is not can't say, it doesn't have the spirit of God fearing and self-control. Call fornicating outside, and now who caused him? You caused it. So this is where you need to open up.
I always
speak up. Let's have open conversation. If you were raped, your husband is not a rapist, or or penetrating, now you feel pain, sit him down so that both of you would have a way of so, because now you're also you are losing something precious in your home.
See, there was a time we had this discussion here that which is more important, counseling or therapy. Remember, last year we had that. A combination of the two, in this case, would have solved the problem somewhat for them. Because, you see, when you go to counseling, they always make this thing look spiritual, as if when conflict comes, you can't even address it, you have to pray about it, you know. But sometimes a little can help solve it. But when you go for counseling, the way they make it sound like it's all going to be rosy, it's going to be comfortable, it's going to be sweet. I don't think therapy will take you through that. It will go to the root of what is happening in
And
your
find a
mind
solution.
and find a solution for you. For all you know, as soon as you go through something like that, then you get to live your best life from that point on. But
Hey, I still stand. I mean, this thing,
mm,
I say that who you want to be
mhm.
is how you want to live.
Also,
your life.
your life is in your own
You
hands.
get
Who
it?
you
Because
want.
if all these things, like this lady, for example, yes, there are so many cases that I've witnessed in a matter of that rape. At times, it's not even a relative, but on those days, nowadays that I've not been hearing it. But even was Wakobo Bigala. I don't know whether you can remember that time.
Gala is the rape.
No, say Gala. No.
Still rape.
No, it's a rape. But you know, the word gala is what they normally use because it's not only.
It refers to just the number of people.
Yes, the number of people is what I'm
Yes,
referring to.
Yes, but it's still
So-
the general term is rape.
When it happens like that, so those people, after that, they go through a lot of counseling. I know one of my mates who is a psychologist. I remember one of the issues. He just sat the people down. The girl, or psyche who they, whatever happens, this thing is already. I mean, it has happened. It's never be why they don't have to stress it. It's how you want to become. It's how you want to become. Because when it has happened and wants to move forward in life, you have to leave the past behind. Just because you need to be careful of what happened at the past, and you are not going to repeat it or it will not repeat it itself. Now you are now married with your husband, and then you are telling me that for 3 years, every year be a man one. It could be possible for a year that she took the 3. So the rest, I say, what worry first year now? No, J3, no, Chen Kennedy.
Yeah, be a man one. Yeah, be
So the rest is for the guy to survive by anger.
be honest anyway. When they want to
So I mean, these things, just let people know that what you saw, how you were brought up. There are certain things, the bad ones, out of when you were disliking the attitude of your mother or your father. You should not repeat it.
Yeah. I think what we can say is that before you marry somebody, I think you should also address some things with yourself personally. If you have personal challenges that you haven't resolved, it will be hard for your spouse to help you resolve that, especially when you haven't come out to clearly define what it is to the person. You're making it very hard for both of you to enjoy a good relationship that you want to build. Alright, I think that'll be it for us on topic time for tonight. We are going to visit this topic again next week.